As I look at our kids and our school and our faith formation classes and in our youth groups, I'm often reminded of just my experiences growing up. And I remember my mom on Wednesday evenings dropping us off at Sacred Heart in Lancaster, California. And I would gather there with a lot of other kids from the public school. And we would be there to learn about our faith. It was such a formative time in my life. It gave me a foundation that I really, really needed. Looking back, I remember my first communion. My right arm was broken. I remember where I ate lunch that day. I remember my confirmation, the priest and what he said at our confirmation retreat. I remember all of those main steps that I would take and how they laid a foundation that would help me at some point where I was in my early 20s, where I would lose my way. And I would lose my way, and in losing my way, I would recognize that there was something missing, something that I had before. And it was because of that what I had before, that foundation that was laid during my youth, from my family to all my catechists, that I would realize that I needed to go back. And in going back, I would find myself living and desiring a life of service. And that is why it is so incredibly important for us here at St. Pius X to focus and take on the mission of the new evangelization. The new evangelization happens first and foremost, I think, in the lives of our children and our youth. And that's really what we need to be about here in our parish. It's life-changing and it's world-changing. With that invitation, I'd like you to just listen now to several other families of our parish as they talk and they share about their experiences of St. Pius X and how it has impacted their lives as a family and the lives of their children.
I was born in Manila in the Philippines, but quickly moved to the United States, and we moved to the Bay Area. That's where we grew up. And my dad actually in the Philippines was a physician. He was a doctor, and my mom was a nurse. And my dad basically gave up being a doctor to bring his family to the United States, and he basically started up again a whole nother career. You know, I look back at it and it's great, but at the same time I look at the sacrifices my dad and my mom made to come here, and it's pretty amazing because my dad could have easily had a great job, a great life in the Philippines, but he realized coming to the United States was a little bit more important to him and for his family to give us, my sister and I, more opportunities. We as well want a better life for our kids. We don't want to see our kids struggle. We don't want to see them have hard times. So yeah, that's just sort of what they instilled in us, and we've been trying to do that with our kids as well. You know, trying to let them know, just as long. I mean, you can be successful. You don't need to make. You can make a ton of money, but if you're not, you know, grounded somewhere, and our grounding is with the church, then you really don't have much. And you look in the Philippines, like I was saying, they don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of things, but they're all very happy people. And they're very loving people, and they got great morals, and it's all because they're surrounded by what they do around the church. Being at a Catholic school, you know that that's going to be there. And we want our kids to be citizens of not just the world, but of the church. We still want them to know that you know, hard work is important. You know, getting out and working on your car and doing things on your own is important, and being independent. But I mean, some of the things that they talk about at school, you know, the love and knowledge and, you know, caring for each other is important. And that's one of the main reasons why we're there at St. Pius, is that, you know, these values. And that's what we want to make sure our kids realize, that the church will always be there, and they always got to be able to go to the church and know that that's a safe place.
What I miss about St. Pius if we move, I guess, is the sense of community. I mean, you can feel that people care. You know, I know there's always going to be somebody that I can call and count on, one of the parents that can, you know, be able to help us out.
The actual fact that my kids love the school, and I think the thing that I would miss, and it would be really difficult to see if we were to go to another school and they wouldn't have that same passion and love to go to school. That would be something that would be really, really hard to see, because they love going to school.
You know, sometimes you have to balance everything, like sports, family time, school, and church, and I think that's all I want to do.
We still make time on Sundays to go to church, regardless of what we're doing.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Ana Lilia Hernández y yo soy de México. Me crecí en un hogar católico. Mis padres siempre me infundaron en mí, en mi corazón, la importancia de la espiritualidad, y eso me ha ayudado mucho ahora que ya soy adulta y que formé mi propia familia. Eso me ha ayudado también para ayudar a mis hijos, especialmente a la mayor, que es bien importante estar con Dios bien, es bien importante tener la fe en Dios, y sabemos que si estamos bien con Dios, todo lo demás está mucho mejor.
I just like meeting new people, and I can be really shy at moments. And I guess this pushes me to not be as shy and actually talk to someone, be like a leader, and start the conversation, not have someone else start it for me. I like coming here on Sundays because we're in a family, we're praying together, which it's not as often sometimes because both my parents work and it's hard to adjust time to be together. So coming to Mass makes us come together. A really good friend, Dahlia, I actually met because of youth group. We met at the first day of youth group, and from then on we clicked. And then I've been going to youth group ever since. I had my first communion, my confirmation, my little he did baptism here, and then my little sister, who's 9 months, we're trying to get her to be baptized. So, and my parents got married here. So I feel like that if you're coming to church constantly and just being here, physically and mentally, it'll help you make good choices.
We had to answer a question recently. How did you know you were in love and you were going to get married? And so we answered that question, which is true, when we named our children, when we were dating Amelia and Nathaniel. And so there it is. We named them, we knew we were in love, we got married and had Amelia and Nathaniel. They've been a part of the St. Pius community through Sundays, school, and Mass, and then Amelia picked up volleyball 3 years ago.
I'm a Portland police officer. I like public service, serving the public. It's not an easy job by any means. It gets harder by the year. Expectations of police officers can be, overwhelming at times.
Showing them what a loving family looks like, and then God is at the center of our family, and I think that that's a gift that parents pass on to their kids and show them how to love God and how to let God into their lives on a daily basis. So regularly we talk about communicating with God when things go well, when things don't go well, and drawing upon those strengths that depend upon a community and depend upon the Catholic traditions, and really, I think, are the greatest strengths for them growing up to be people in this world.
Yeah, and we're at that time in our lives right now, between the kids going to piano and volleyball and baseball and basketball. My days off are through the week, so we have to shuffle things.
But we do stop. I think Father Sean's words about back to basics are words that we live in our family when things are too chaotic, when things don't seem to be making sense. It's time to slow down and come back to the very simple act of loving. And so we're the couple who comfortably will say, we can't go to this practice, we can't add this, and while it's disappointing, I think it's part of that call to come back to basics and to bring God back to the center and to bring the wholeness and happiness of our family so that we're healthy. We have dinner every night together, and that's a priority. So that feels like a place where we connect. I think especially as children get older, their peer group becomes essential, and I think the St. Pius community is a place where we know families share a lot of the values. I want to thank St. Pius for bringing God and community into our daily life.